It's not about new products, new technologies. It's not about revolutionary design. It's not about outrageous creativity, open spaces, brainstorming sessions. It's not about the car we use, the brands we buy, the t-shirt we wear at work. Not even the cutting-edge gadget we're proud of.
Real innovation matter is going to be tough because it's going to challenge a lot of those folks to give up some of their powers, to give up some of their prerogatives.
There's so many antibodies. We all want to do something that says, but for my presence in this world, this would not exist.
One of the issues of innovation is that people think that one is some kind of revolutionary process. It's a totally different kind of conversation that business people normally have. These kind of traditional patterns are very difficult to overcome.
What you can do, though, is you can make the right kind of decisions.
To allow you to begin focusing and answering very specific questions.
If you're not doing that, our only other choice is we all join the race to the bottom.
A magic force strong enough to change the world in a second. This very second. A sign of our fast and ever-changing times, or the coolest way to dress up the same old habits. Innovation, the contemporary flagship of world-class management, or the complex blend of action and distraction behind it. From the very beginning, human beings have been changing their lives into innovation, changing their environment, the way they interact, the way they relate with resources and technology. Paradoxically, today, we seem to believe that innovation as a process is far from our reach, an unattainable alchemy, the exclusive property of big companies who will magically deliver what we want while creating the breakthrough business models we should admire and emulate.
And if you talk to anybody who's interesting, and you have, this great joy of talking to all these interesting people here. If you talk to anybody who is interesting, you say, how did you end up doing what you're doing? Inevitably, anybody doing anything interesting, making a real contribution, will say, it's a long story.
One of the reasons I think it's been so hard to build companies that are adaptable and innovative is the companies we have are built on a set of principles that, like standardization and hierarchy and specialization, that were focused on reliability and efficiency and so on.
One of the issues of innovation is that people think it's some kind of revolutionary process. We're now going to be innovative, and all of a sudden everything's going to change.
The dilemma is the things that are most important to business success today are the least measurable. You can measure some of the outcomes. You know whether you're innovative after the fact, but it's very difficult. How do you measure passion? How do you measure trust?
So we have to work very hard to make those kinds of forces understandable and actionable for business, because necessity is another invention.
But we need some alternatives to those. I mean, we need to complement those with some that are focused more on adaptability and engagement and so on. So in understanding how to do this, you have to go look at the things in our world that are highly engaging or highly innovative or highly adaptable.
So we can honestly wonder where the boundaries of true innovation lie. Whether our generation, day after day, commonly regards it only as colorful makeup, astonishing technologies, crazy ideas coming out of creative labs, or highly isolated geniuses. That's the perfect stew for gimmicks, the birthplace of misconceptions around what innovation is, what its real, its deep meaning is, what it is called to do.
The reality is that most companies that kind of take management mostly for granted and don't think about their management processes and systems as avenues for reinvention, don't think about management as something that could help them build a competitive advantage.
Well, a big part is because that they solved the design piece of the equation, but they didn't solve the business model equation.
Innovation is economics and talks about what enters the marketplace.
Innovation is the creation of new forms of value in anticipation of future demand.
To me, innovation is identifying new needs. It can be as small as a change in a straw you use in your drink, or as large as anti-gravity or immortality or something you might come up with. Basically, I mean, there's loads of ideas out there, but the ideas that matter are the ones that resonate with consumers.
If you are able to see where demand will come next, and get there a little bit ahead of the rest of the world in terms of creating products, services, and tools to meet demand rather than chase demand.
If you look at the structure of the modern firm, it's very much constructed to produce, basically to mass produce commodity physical goods.
As you move up that chain of meaning, you must continually redouble your efforts.
So they kind of just go along incrementally changing things at the margin, but don't often step back and say, are there opportunities to really fundamentally reinvent the way we do the work of management?
There are companies that manage to unveil the hidden power of innovation, pouring new light on processes and people, reshaping talent recruitment and investment, and bringing the future back to the present. Now, can you think of innovation without thinking of Google? Think out of the box and try to put aside the candy bar, the in-company gourmet restaurant, the 24-hour laundry, the feed-at-home desktop decoration, some of the gimmicks pinpointed by convention.
As companies grow, they start out generally, quite adaptable, quite innovative, and then as they grow, they kind of become less so, but they become more efficient. And in a way, companies, as they grow, often trade away units of innovation, trade away units of adaptability for units of efficiency and predictability and so on.
What's new about innovation, and what really makes it a kind of more crisp process, is the ability to rapidly prototype, to sort of do things in public with very quick reaction, almost you do it hand in hand with your users.
But now with new technology, where instead of being a hierarchical review, I can do a peer review, where everyone in the organization, rather than depending on my boss to tell me what to do, everyone in the company can understand what's the mission, what's the target, and write themselves into that story.
So I just see this over and over and over. And this is why you have employers who like to hire musicians and athletes. Why? They show up and practice and go up the next day, and they know they're not going to get great at something unless they put in the time. And it is hugely important.
So what we're doing is building new networks of expertise in each one of those areas, talking to each other to identify new gaps in the landscape.
The reality is it's a process. So the first aspect is to get people, empower people to be able to think differently.
You had intrinsically motivated people who had autonomy and the freedom to experiment, follow their curiosity, trying stuff.
The things that are actually driving us to do it. It's not only a matter of can we, I think it's more a matter of now we must.
Genentech, the biotech firm, lets its scientists spend 20% of their time working on anything that they want. Google does the same thing. That's a well-known example. Now, something like 50% of Google's new products and services year before last were created during this 20% time.
Flexible hours, self-managed projects, market analysis, collaborative customers, open innovation, exciting accountability are some of the multiple triggers that thrust Google up to the top as the brightest star in the business universe, and at the same time bring down to earth the quintessential threats that weave into a complex home. The beating heart